Hi, I'm George Weigel. Welcome to my winter season tips. Let's see what's going on this week. You know, pruning is one of those jobs you can get out of the way in the wintertime, especially pruning trees. For one thing, you don't get the sap running in some species like birch and maple when you prune early enough in the season. If you wait till later in the spring and you make cuts, it gets kind of sappy. Plus there's no leaves on the trees right now too. You can see the branch structure better. So for things like shade trees, or in this case an apple tree, fruit tree, like a pear or anything like that, is a good time of the year to prune things. So I thought I'd just give you a look this week at some of the basics that are involved in pruning a tree like this in the winter. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is look at the tree and see if there's any dead or damaged branches on there, things that maybe ice storms have cracked off of there. And in this case, I don't see any damage to this tree, so I'll move on to step 2, is to look for any bigger cuts, bigger branches that need to come off to shape the tree, because it's better to make a few bigger cuts than a whole lot of little cuts, especially if you're going to cut a bigger branch off anyway. Just go for that first. So when I look at this tree, it's kind of congested up in there. I've got a branch going out here, I've got a branch kind of above it going here, but this one right here, that's 3 all in the same area. So that would be a good one to thin out of here, which is what I'm going to do first. I'm just going to go in here and say, okay, this is the one I want to get rid of. I'm going to cut it from behind right here and start to take this branch right off fairly close to it. I'm using a tree saw for something a little bit bigger like that. And it's just about ready to come off of there. Yeah, so we got one bigger one, so that gets rid of a lot of the excess wood right there with just one cut. There we go. And that's going to dry and go into my fireplace eventually. First thing we're going to do is look for branches that are growing into one another. Like here's an example. These are growing down, this one's growing out, this one's growing up, that one's growing down. All these are going to conflict with one another, so we need to clear it out. Okay, I'm going to go back and take this whole branch off right here, because when I get rid of this branch, it's going to take away all those conflicts right down the line. So one cut right here, and I'm going to do it right near the branch right there. And that's gone. All the conflicts solved with that one cut. They can all grow. Another thing I'm going to look for are branches growing in the wrong direction, such as down or in toward the tree. I'd like all the branches to go out. So here's 2 right here that are growing straight down out of this branch, and I'm going to go ahead and cut those off. Get rid of that one, and get rid of that one. And I'll just keep looking throughout the tree to do that. And another set would be what are sometimes called water sprouts, or branches that are growing straight up. So what I want to do is look throughout the tree to find whatever branches are growing up from bigger branches or even from the trunk, and just cut those right off. You might find a lot of those all over. Anything growing straight up, get rid of those too. The last thing I do is make shortening cuts, where I go around and pick branches that have buds on that are growing in the direction I want it. Like if this branch I would want it to grow out, I'm going to cut it right there. Little bit of an angle right above that bud. Now that branch is going to grow straight out in that direction. That's kind of how you guide the growth of the tree. One other important thing is where you cut. When you make a cut like this little branch here, you don't want to cut out here and let a stub. Look for the ring around where the branch attaches to the bigger branch, like right about there, and cut to the outer edge of the ring. And when you cut it, right there you go. You don't gouge into the branch, and you don't let a stub. That's just the right spot to make all your cuts. Well, those are the basics. Just remember to take a good look at the tree before you make your cut, because one thing about pruning, once you cut the branch off, you're not going to be gluing it back on again. So just imagine what it's going to look like with the branch off, then make your cut. So get out there and give it a try, and I'll see you next week on PennLive.com.